All right. Are we good? We had some technical difficulties with the first attempt at this live stream. Hi, Purple Turtle. Um, I had lost power and it's very windy, very, very windy where I'm at. So we had lost power just as I was sitting down after the initial podcast started. So yeah. I cannot promise we're going to make it through the live stream. I can't. So we're going to try to get through it. So to reiterate what I was saying on the last one, if you guys, I don't know how many, well, I got one person, Purple Turtle. Moving forward with the podcasts, whether it's The Kingdom or it's Talking Shit with Felia and Shadow, we are going to be going subscriber only in the chat. Not surprised that Shadow and Felia had some unruly fans in the chat. Shadow and Felia are unruly as it is. So they had a couple unruly fans that unfortunately I had to throw in the dungeon. Yeah. The other thing I want to mention is if you're not the age of 13, you should not be watching this channel. There's cuss words. It's not made for kids. So yeah, definitely. So one of those people were claiming to be 6 years old. So they said they were joking. I wasn't having it. I threw them immediately, removed them from the chat just because they shouldn't be. Again, I label everything not for kids. So yeah, because I would like to monetize at some point. But yeah, Purple Turtle. They said 6. Then they said they were joking, and yeah, so I had removed them from the chat. So I don't know. So today we are going to review episode 11, one of the reboot episodes titled Harmony and Chaos at Rouge's Farewell Party. Having now written 103 episodes of this series, I will say this episode in particular, episode 11, is easily one of the most significant episodes of the entire series. It's a big episode. A lot happens in it, and a lot happened in episode 10. The thing about it is, and we'll get into it when we get toward the end of the live stream, when we actually get to the parts. What's going on in episode 11 is still a storyline that's happening. And actually, it's not only still happening, but it's progressing and being augmented further in the current episodes in season 4. So again, it's a big episode as far as, what is going on in it. So we'll pick up the episode where we left off in episode 10. Cream, the last reboot episode, it ended is with Cream telling Rarity that she told Spike about her kiss with Silver, thus leading Spike to break up with Rarity. So we pick up, we're at Rarity's boutique, and Rarity and Cream get into a disagreement here. Rarity feels betrayed that Cream told Spike, and in Rarity's mind, she's kind of like, after everything I've done for you, Cream, I've given you a home, I've given you a job, and this is the repayment that I get. As a friend, you should have came to me about what you witnessed and not go to Spike. And Cream gives her reason for why she did go to Spike. She saw that Spike was affected and felt that Rarity was pulling away. Cream and Spike had a conversation before the gala, where it was the night before the gala where Cream and Spike had a little hangout, and Spike was checking in on Cream. It was also the same night the Mobians had their party at Twilight's, and we had the Don Ponion incident with Shadow. It was that same night. So in their conversation, obviously Spike told Cream, I feel Rarity is pulling away from me. I don't understand why. I just feel like there's something going on there. And Cream, seeing Spike in somewhat of distress, led her to tell Spike about the kiss with Rarity and Silver. So Rarity tells Cream that right now she can't stand the sight of her and that she should just go to Rouge's farewell party before things get ugly. So Cream, before she leaves, reiterates the fact that, look, you're the one who kissed Silver. It's your actions that led Spike to break up with you. And it wasn't just the kiss with Silver, if you really want to think about it. It's the way Rarity has treated Spike over all of the canon years of MLP, and really just not that she doesn't like him as a friend, but she was always like very hesitant about getting with a dragon. So Cream again reiterates to Rarity that it's her own fault that she lost Spike and not hers. And it wasn't just the kiss that did it. It was just the last straw that broke the camel's back, so to speak. So Cream leaves to go to Rouge's party. Rarity is left crying in her room. And then we end that scene and go into the opening credits. Coming out, we go to Rouge's party, or the start of it, unofficial start of it. The guests are all arriving at Twilight's castle. Purple Turtle says Cream talks sense and Rarity doesn't like it. That is true facts. Yeah, that is a very true statement. So we pick up with all of the guests and all of the friends, close friends of Rouge, arriving at Twilight's castle for her farewell party because she is going off. And then you'll see it in the next reboot episode, episode 12. Rainbow Dash and Rouge are both going off to the Wonderbolts Academy. Rouge to help the Wonderbolts find the Chaos Emeralds, which are currently, well, in the reboots, they're currently scattered across Equestria, and in the new episodes, they're scattered across the planet yet again. So kind of ironic that we're at this point at the same time. But, and Rainbow Dash is going back to teach Soren's class of recruits, new class of recruits that they're bringing into the Wonderbolts, a whole new squad. So Rainbow Dash is going to teach them and help them graduate and teach them so they can graduate and become Wonderbolts. So the party unofficially begins with all the guests arriving. We open up with Fluttershy and Pinkie Pie. Pinkie Pie arrives and she brings her chocolatey super bomb cakes, whatever. And she asks Fluttershy if Manic had arrived yet. Fluttershy says, no, Manic is not here yet. So they make small talk, whatever. Rainbow Dash and Sonic are talking with Tails. They're having a conversation, not so much Rainbow Dash. Rainbow Dash is kind of off doing her thing, but Sonic is having a conversation with Tails in which he asks Tails to pilot the X-Tornado because they're going to use, Sonic wants to use Rouge's Chaos Emerald that she currently has to engage Chaos Mode in the X-Tornado so they could take Rainbow Dash out to outer space to see Equestria from outer space. So, Tails winds up agreeing to do it. He's honored to do it. So Sonic has that going there. He put that plan into motion. Also in this opening sequence, Cream arrives, and she, as soon as she arrives to the castle, she finds Spike and asks to talk to him in private. They go out to one of the many balconies that Twilight has, terraces. This being a first floor terrace, they kind of just go out to the main terrace and talk. And in this conversation, Spike and Rarity, or Spike and Cream, have a pretty interesting conversation. Um, Spike Spike is worried that Cream has told Rarity, mainly because Spike doesn't want to see Rarity lose a friend, and lose a job. He feels bad that Cream is in the middle of this, and he doesn't want Rarity to take her anger out on Cream, which is why he questions, why did you tell her? You put your friendship and your job at risk. And Cream said, look, Cream being Cream, felt like she could not lie to a friend. Um, Purple Turtle, again, is saying the Sonic VA is amazing. That being Plush. Plush is an awesome Sonic. And the funny thing about Plush is he can do all three Sonics. He's trying to master the Jason Griffith Sonic. Currently, he pretty much does like a mixture of like his own with Roger Craig Smith. Um, yeah, he wants to get the Jason Griffith version down. He doesn't really utilize the the original Sonic voice actor. Yeah, bleh. I'm trying to remember. Oh, yeah, Ryan Drummond. Ryan Drummond. Yeah, he doesn't really do Ryan Drummond much, but he is trying to master Jason Griffith from Sonic X. That's the voice he's going for. Although he has mastered the Roger Craig version. But yeah. So again, we're with Cream and Spike. During their conversation, again, Spike is just very concerned overall about where Cream is going to stand with Rarity after this. Cream tells Spike that she doesn't believe he's going to be single for very long. She also says that she's kind of had a crush on him. And she gives Spike a kiss on the cheek before they go back into the castle, because Rouge and Twilight are set to arrive at any moment. Cream is a freaking angel, if you think about it. She actually technically is an angel, or was an angel canonly in HC. That's how she came back to life. But yeah, she is a freaking angel. So yeah, Cream. I felt bad when Cream when Cream got killed in this series. I immediately regretted doing it. But like I said, I thought of ways to like bring her back that was realistic. So yeah. Purple Turtle didn't realize Cream dies in the series. But no, she winds up becoming an angel, and that's ultimately how she comes back. Purple Turtle, if you watched the prior episode, there's a reason why Cream is petrified of the changelings, and we'll leave it at that. Cream does not like the changelings, not at all. And you saw it in episode 102 why Cream is petrified of those changelings. Oh, Purple Turtle hasn't seen episode 1 or 2. Yeah, I would. Yeah, 102. Yeah, Cream. Yeah, Cream has a hatred for the changelings. We'll leave it at that. So moving forward, we go back into the castle. I'm trying to remember if Manic has arrived at this point. I think he has. Yeah, Manic arrives right before Rouge and Twilight get there. I believe. I don't remember. But we'll just say Manic is there. So Starlight passes out. She starts passing out all the toast wine, all the champagne toasts for when Rouge arrives. We see Knuckles and Applejack. Knuckles, Applejack, and Rainbow Dash kind of have a conversation as well. And then Twilight and Rouge walk up the walkway. Purple Turtle says, well, there's no such thing as a good character without trauma. That's for sure. And some of these characters go through a lot of trauma after season 1. So Twilight and Rouge arrive to a big big welcome. Rouge is genuinely touched and surprised by Twilight's surprise, to the point where she said, "Wow, you kept me out all day to throw this party? Wow. I'm impressed, Sparkles." So Twilight gives a little bit of a speech about how she's going to miss Rouge. It leads to the toast, and Twilight toasts her new bestie, Rouge. And the party officially begins. As the party begins, we start to see all the characters start to have like little side conversations. At this point, Manic decides to approach Sonic. And this is a very interesting little sequence of the party. Because as we knew from the prior episode, Manic's hip glowed, exposing that he could have a potential cutie mark, which was then confirmed by Pinkie Pie and DJ Pone 3, aka Vinyl Scratch. And Manic kicks things off by approaching Sonic and saying, "Hey, bro, we need to talk." So Sonic and Manic go outside, and Manic kind of has like a somewhat concerned demeanor about him. Sonic is not used to seeing Manic this level of serious. It's not overly serious, but it's serious on a Manic level. Yes, Rouge and Twilight being besties is the best thing ever. They've kind of had like a little flirtatious fling friendship thing going. They're quite comical together, Rouge and Twilight. So they get outside and they start talking, and Sonic asks, "What's going on, Manic? You look pretty serious. Is everything okay?" And Manic doesn't beat around the bush. He tells Sonic immediately what the problem is. He says, "Pinkie knows that I have a cutie mark, and so does DJ Pone 3. My hit, my audition, because I was really wailing away on those drums. So my hip started glowing, and then like DJ Pone 3 kind of was like, dude, you have a cutie mark." So Manic had to tell Sonic that DJ Pone 3 and Pinkie Pie know about the cutie mark, and Sonic is kind of like taken aback by it, and Manic's like, "Well, what should we do, Sonic? Like, this changes their history, bro. Like, we have to tell them, like, they came from Mobius, like." And then, so, like, do we tell them or do we not tell them? And Sonic's like, and Sonic says, "Yeah, we absolutely have to tell Twilight about our cutie marks. This is a big deal." And then Manic kind of like backtracks, because as we become to find out, Manic was actually bullied for having a cutie mark. The other Mobians really didn't realize the significance of why Manic's hip would glow. They would just make fun of him and call him like glitter butt or whatever they called him. They would bully him. And Manic even says, "Look, Sonic, you weren't bullied like I was. Everybody just thought like your cutie mark was cool because they didn't even know you had a cutie mark, because when yours would only light up when you would break the sound barrier. That's why you leave a blue streak behind you when you run, because it's your cutie mark glowing and nobody really freaking knows. So everybody just thinks it's cool." And Sonic is kind of taken aback, like, really? We're not going to tell Twilight because you think it's uncool? So as this conversation continues, we go back into the castle. At this point, Spike and Cream are having a moment again where Spike asks Cream officially out on a date. Cream is pretty nervous during this scene, obviously because she has feelings for Spike, and she's not 100% sure if Spike is going to reciprocate the feelings. So she's pretty nervous. So Spike kind of notices that. He grabs her hand and holds her hand. and gives her a kiss on the lips. And then he asks her out on a date, out for dinner, and she obliges and says yes. Oh, man. Yes, Manic. Sonic had to nurse that chili dog for 10 minutes. You are absolutely correct. Spike and Cream are adorable. They are adorable. I'm still not sure 100% if where I'm going with Cream as far as her shipping goes in the new episodes. Obviously, things happen moving forward. So Cream says yes to Spike's proposal for a date. And after Spike kisses her, she kind of calms down a little bit. Twilight and Rouge witness it, and they both approve to each other about Spike and Cream being adorable together. Rouge is kind of like, damn. Like, internally, Rouge is like, well, damn, Spike. Damn, that little dragon's got some riz. So I won't spoil it, Purple Turtle. Don't worry, I will not spoil it. So after this, we go back outside. The other scene that's important that I kind of glazed over is that Rarity is on her way now. That this is one moment where Spike, where I'm gonna just tie it in because we were talking about Spike and Cream. So in the scene before this, Rarity and Sweetie Belle was sent over to Rarity's boutique by their mother, Cookie Crumbles. Cookie Crumbles sends Sweetie Belle to go check on Rarity. And then we see that Rarity is actually going to go to Rouge's party to try and win Spike over. So then we went into the Spike Cream moment, and now we're back outside with Manic and Sonic finishing off the conversation. Sonic is pretty taken aback that Manic doesn't want to tell the truth, and he even tells Manic, "Look, Manic, your cutie mark is not as you said, your cutie mark is not as easy to conceal as mine is, because what's going to happen is when you perform on stage, every pony that you perform in front of is going to see your hip glow." Manic's like, "Exactly, Sonic. Like, what are we going to do?" Like, and Sonic says, this is much bigger than being ridiculed, or this is bigger. This is a big deal. We have to tell Twilight. And then Rarity then is seen walking up the walkway, and she sees that Sonic and Manic are talking, and she says, "Good evening, boys." And Manic, "Wow, Rarity, you look hot." And she's like, "Please, I look like a strumpet." And then that's when Manic gets, "But a high-class strumpet." I had a different dress in the originals. In the original release of this episode, Rarity is wearing a leather dress. Like it's kind of slutty, shall we say. It's a very slutty leather dress. But I couldn't find that picture on Google anymore, so I couldn't use that one. I had to find a different one. Purple Turtle's laughing at high class. But so Rarity says, "I usually don't dress like this, but I am on a mission to win Spike's heart back. So yes, I'm dressed like this to try to get his attention." And Manic's like, "Well, you're kind of behind the eight ball already, Rarity. Little Dragon Dude was pretty upset earlier." And she goes, "You know about Spike and I's breakup?" And Manic says, "Oh yeah, Little Dragon Dude showed up at the bakery, at the bake shop this morning. He was exhausted, and yeah, he told me and Pinky all about it." And Manic's, and then Raider's like, "Fine, well, I guess every pony knows." And then that's when she says, "I'm here to win his heart back, hopefully." And she goes, "Well, anyway, boys, I'll see you boys inside." And then she goes off into the castle. We'll get into that in a second because it leads to some drama. Where there's Rarity, there's drama. We all know that to be the case. Wherever there's Rarity, there's drama. So Manic and Spike finish their conversation. At this point, Manic does realize what Sonic's trying to say is like, you know what, bro, you're right. This is much bigger than us and much bigger than me being insecure about myself. So this is something that does change the history of the ponies. We should at least tell um, Twilight. We should at least tell Twilight and Rainbow Dash because they have a right to know. So Sonic and Manic end the scene with Sonic saying, okay, so then it's settled then. We're going to tell Twilight. We'll tell Twilight and Rainbow Dash. We'll tell them a little bit later. And after I finally get to eat my chili dog I've been holding for the last 10 minutes. So Sonic finally gets to eat his chili dog, and then he and Manic go back inside the castle. At this point, Rarity is now saying congratulations to Rouge, and she makes her presence known with Rouge. And she basically apologizes for the tension that was between her and Rouge. She says basically all is forgiven about you breaking into my boutique and stealing my purse. It's funny that Rarity is more upset over the purse that she stole, which she gave back anyway, and Rarity just told her to keep it. So if you guys remember the tension between Rarity and Rouge, yeah, there was tension there back in episode 2 or 3? I think it was 3. So Rouge is pretty taken aback about how Rarity looks. She's like, wow, Rarity, I didn't think you had it in you. You look kind of, yeah, I didn't think you had it in you, sugar. And Rarity's like, oh, yeah, I'm on a mission to win my Spike back. And then again, Rouge chimes in like, well, you're behind the 8 ball, dear, because it's going to take a lot more than a dress. And then Rarity notices that Spike and Cream are holding hands. And this is where Rarity kind of is like, oh, is Spike holding Cream's hand? And Rarity, then this is where Rouge tells Rarity, oh, if that upsets you, be glad you weren't here 20 minutes ago when Cream and Spike were making out. And then Twilight's like, Rouge! And this is where Rarity loses her shit. Rarity blows a gasket, and she's like, that, how dare that floppy-eared bunny? Oh, I see what's going on here. Sorry, ladies, but I have business to tend to. And then that's when Rarity storms over to Spike and Cream. And Spike, Rarity, a surprise to see me, darling. And Rarity then lays into Cream, and she goes, now everything becomes crystal clear as to why you told Spike about my kiss with Silver. You wanted Spike for yourself. After everything I've done for you, Cream, you would betray me like this. Something along those lines. And then Spike says, how dare you blame Cream for this? Cream had nothing to do with our breakup, Rarity. And then Spike goes off and is like, it's not just the kiss with Silver that pisses me off. It's the fact that it's just the fact that you've made me feel like crap over the years. You made me ashamed to be a dragon. And he goes off on Rarity. And then at the end of all this, Spike storms upstairs and goes into Twilight's chamber, like Twilight's bedroom, and just kind of seals himself away, locks himself in there so he can be alone because Spike is just pissed. And you can understand why he's upset because Rarity came in blazing like that, and she's blaming Cream for what had happened. Amy, hearing this, slaps Silver in the face, and now she finds out that Silver put the moves on Rarity and slaps Silver in the face. And now Silver and Amy are having issues. Amy goes to storm out. Silver catches up to her and grabs her by the hand and says, what are you doing? Like, why would, like, I thought we were together. And Amy's like, I'm not competing with ponies anymore. I'm done competing. Maybe I should try being on my own for once. So Amy winds up just storming out of the castle and leaving Silver behind. We go upstairs to where Twilight has gone up to check on Spike. Rouge, in the meantime, is loving the drama. She's loving the drama. So Twilight goes upstairs to check on Spike. And this is where we get kind of like a very, I don't know how you guys view it. I know in My Little Pony, FIM, Spike and Twilight are considered siblings of a sort. I referred to Spike and Twilight as kind of like a mother or son relationship, if at least in this moment of Harmony and Chaos. I know in MLP, like, it wasn't really made known that Twilight and Spike, because when I originally wrote this episode, I wrote it back. This was written in 2017 originally, this episode. And this episode originally came out on YouTube as a read-along episode in 2017. So at that moment, we hadn't really known the dynamic between Spike and Twilight. We knew that Twilight took care of Spike. It was never really known that they considered each other siblings until like season 8 or season 9, where they had their sibling rivalry day between Shining Armor, Spike, and Twilight. So in HC, I kind of referred to them as having a mother-son relationship, because it was Twilight who not only watched Spike and took care of Spike's hatching, but also kind of like raised him and made sure he was taken care of. So there's that aspect. So Twilight and Spike are up in her chamber, and they have kind of this mother-son moment where Twilight says, look, I think you made the right decision when you broke up with Rarity. And I also agree that, Cream is the right choice for you. She's obviously had a crush on you for a while, and obviously you like her. So, yeah, she's a sweetheart. So I approve. And Twilight just gets into the conversation, winds up going to Spike saying, look, Twilight, I also kind of broke it off with Rarity so I can kind of like re-fulfill my duties as your assistant. And then that's when Twilight goes into mom mode and says, Spike, you are so much more than just an assistant. She goes, you're like a son to me. I've raised you from the day you hatched. So yeah. And then she says, and just like any mother would, I would want you to be happy. And serving me as my royal assistant is not really the life I kind of want you to have. And Spike goes, but what if I choose to do it because it makes me feel significant? It makes me feel important. And I enjoy helping. I enjoy helping the team keep Equestria safe. I enjoy being part of your team, Twilight. And Twilight's like, okay, I can see that. And as the conversation continues, Twilight basically says she approves of whatever decision Spike makes as it pertains to Cream and Rarity. And the one question that she does have at the end of it is she asks Spike, obviously Cream has been in love with you from the start. She's obviously had feelings from you and has had her eyes on you from the moment she arrived here. But the question is do you have the same feelings for Cream? And Spike assures Twilight, yeah, I absolutely have feelings for Cream. In fact, I've had a hard time not falling for Cream because I was with Rarity. I was trying to stay loyal to Rarity, but because I was spending so much time with Cream, I kind of started having feelings for her as well. So, the feelings are mutual. So Twilight basically wraps up the conversation by saying, I approve of you and Cream being together. And Spike says, well, I should probably head downstairs and officially talk to Rarity and, kind of just make peace with Rarity and move on. Before Spike leaves the room, Twilight also suggests to Spike that maybe They have Cream stay at the castle at least for a little while, until things blow over with Rarity. Twilight feels it's not a good idea for Cream and Rarity to be around each other. Um, and Spike's like, yeah, that's a pretty good idea. So Twilight and Spike's mom and son moment with Spike ends with them giving each other a hug, and they head back downstairs to the party. Spike goes down and gets a hold of Rarity. He walks past Cream and Rarity. He reassures Cream that he'll be back and that he needs to talk to Rarity alone. Cream is kind of worried at first because she thinks that maybe Spike, after talking with Twilight, maybe she feels that Spike is going to go back with Rarity. So she's kind of nervous and scared at this point. Twilight kind of senses the somberness of Cream in that moment. So she tells Cream not to worry, that everything is going to be fine and it's going to work out. And Cream goes, well, why? How do you know? And Twilight says, because Spike told me how he feels about you. So everything will be fine. He needs to talk to Rarity right now. So before we go to the next scene, which is Spike and Rarity's conversation, I'm going to get a quick drink. Purple Turtle, who I think is the only person watching me live right now, says that Twilight would be a great mother. Yeah, and I'll leave it at that. Purple Turtle also says, did you get your new computer yet? No, I have not gotten my new computer yet. I'm waiting. I'm waiting on my income tax return. I think a new computer, that's what I'm going to buy. I'm hoping to buy a new computer with my income tax return. I'm still waiting to hear. I just sent it off yesterday. So I'm hoping for a return. Really, yeah. The funny thing is, Purple Turtle, is I've gotten this computer to work. It's been working good lately. So I'm not rushing to it. I still have a little bit of memory left on this computer. But a new computer, a new laptop is going to run me. If I want to go true laptop, I think I can get one at Walmart for about, I think, $500. They run right now. So, yeah. I don't know if I want to go I don't know if I want to upgrade to a Vio. I might. I either want to go, I'm probably going to go the Vio route. I don't know. Or the Vaio route, whatever. I don't know how to pronounce it. VAIO. I'm kind of going that route. I don't even think they make the model that I have anymore, Toshiba. I don't even think Toshiba makes laptops anymore. Yeah. Laptops are they range. I mean, you can get it for as low as $400, but I don't necessarily know if I want a $400 laptop. I kind of want to, because like I said, I've done 4 seasons of Harmony and Chaos on this computer, so I kind of need something that has some memory to it. I do delete all the episodes, but I'm down to about 25% of the computer's memory on this. And this computer, I'm going to let you in on a little secret. This computer is running on Windows 7. Windows 7. This is a 2009 computer. What did you have in mind, Purple Turtle? I'm not very savvy on computers. I know there's low end, and I know there's lower end, and I know somewhere in the middle. I'm seeing a lot of people with the Vaio or Vio, I don't know how you pronounce it, the VAIO computers. I'm seeing those everywhere. I don't like Apple. I won't go Apple. I'll go PC. Apple has all kinds of problems. Yeah, I don't want Apple. I feel like with Apple, you lose memory. I feel like for the amount of money you pay for an Apple, yeah, I don't know when iPods went under, but I used to have all kinds of issues with iTunes. I used to get viruses from iTunes. You download a song or you buy a song, and then somehow I wound up getting a Trojan horse on this computer. from iTunes, ironically. I actually sent my computer to a friend and he works for the government, FBI type stuff. So he looked at the computer and he was able to get the computer to work again. But he said, yeah, you had a Trojan horse from iTunes. So it wiped out. It didn't wipe out the hard drive, but it wiped out like whatever the computer on it, wiped some stuff out. It did wipe out some of the stuff I had on there. So I was lucky to keep as much as I did. I'm surprised the computer still works, if I'm being honest. It's like in 2009. So yeah, oh boy is right. So we continue on. Rarity and Spike are out on the terrace. Again, Spike out on the terrace having a private conversation, this time with Rarity. And Spike really puts his heart out there this time. And he wants to reiterate, he wants to drive home the point to Rarity that it's over. I'm done. Yeah, I'm done. I'm done, Rarity. And like literally. So the conversation starts with Spike saying, look, you can be angry and upset, but don't take it out on Cream. It's not her fault that we broke up. The reason we broke up is because of both of us, Rarity. All right? We broke up because of both of us, not Cream. You have always had this issue with being with the dragon, you know. And I thought it was kind of funny because when Rarity arrived at the party, Spike was kind of mocking her. Like, ew, Spike, I wish you were a pony so we could be married. So, like, it was kind of like funny how Spike was mocking Rarity. But this is a little bit more serious of a conversation. So Spike just wants to drive home the fact to Rarity that it's over. And he says, the point that Spike makes here is, look, Rarity, it took me 6 years to get to where we were dating. Like, to get a kiss from you, it took me 6 years of canon MLP for me to just get a kiss from you. And then for us to become an official couple, it took 6 years. It took Silver a couple of hours to get with you, to get, basically what Spike said was, it only took Silver a few hours to get to where it took Spike 6 years to get to. And Spike said, that alone right there tells you that we're not meant to be together. So, like, I don't know what you want me to tell you here, Rarity. Silver got as far with you as I did in 3 hours as I did in 6 years. Cucked. I've been cucked. Literally, yeah, done. Done. You're done. And then Spike again says, look, obviously you have a crush on Silver. He's literally right there. Like, he's 5 feet from you, Rarity. Why don't you go in there? I broke up with you so you can have your Prince Charming. He's there. Go be with him. But and then Spike ends the conversation with like, but please just don't take it out on Cream. And Rarity reassures Spike. She says, okay, fine, Spike. I give you and Cream my blessing. And because Rarity knows she's cooked. She knows Spike is right. So Rarity tells Spike, I give my blessing to you and Cream, and tell Cream her job is safe. As far as our friendship goes, I'm not there. I'm still not there. But Cream assures Spike that Cream's job will be safe. So Rarity, being humiliated, decides to leave the party altogether. Spike goes back into the party to go be with Cream and to just be with the party in general. Silver at this point goes to Spike, and Spike says, what are you still doing here, Silver? I broke up with Rarity so you can go be with her. Go after her, dude. And Spike tells him, she may not be ready to admit it right this second, but she's already told me she wants you. So go after her. So Silver obliges and said, stupid Silver moment. Hey. Silver, hey, I like that. Silver, get your girl. I love it. By the way, Purple Turtle, this is like when I voice Silver, I'm kind of voicing him as Bryce Papenbrook, because Bryce did the voice of Silver. I don't remember what games exactly. I think it was just the racing game. But I actually enjoyed Bryce Papenbrook voicing Silver. We get Adrian Agreste and Cat Noir as Silver. Yeah, so this yeah, I got to get back into Bryce here. But yeah, I see your point, Spike. I should probably, yeah, you should go after Rarity. Go, dude. So Silver goes after Rarity. She is already well up the walkway, so Silver's got to teleport to her. Silver is underrated as a character. I've been doing Silver some justice lately in the newer episodes. Purple Turtle, have you seen any of the new episodes? Like, what is your, like, how far are you in the series? Are you starting off with the reboots? I'll wait. I just don't want to spoil anything if you are not, if you're, because I could have swore I've seen you in the chat for the new episodes. I'm just trying to figure out where you are because I don't want to accidentally let something slip. So, all right. In case, Silver catches up with Rarity. Okay, so you started with the reboots, but in the series, I'm on episode 32. Okay, awesome. Yeah, episode 32 is the season finale of season 1. It's actually almost, I want to say it's almost a 2-hour episode. It's at least 90 minutes. I actually put an intermission in there. So, yeah, it's like a double episode. That would be Sondash's wedding. But yeah. So we continue on. Rarity tells Silver, I really don't want to talk to you right now, considering you're the reason since you're the reason Spike broke up with me. And Silver doesn't mess around here. He goes right into it and says, look, when are you going to admit that you're the reason why you and Spike broke up? It's not a kiss. It's not just a kiss with me, but like, you've been forcing feelings for him for years. Why don't you just admit it? And they have a little conversation, and by the end of it, Rarity finally acknowledges the fact that she fucked up and that she is the reason Spike left her. She finally acknowledges it. So I'm not going to get into every gory detail here. By the end of this little scene, Silver and Rarity have agreed to go to the hot dog stand and just pick up a hot dog and then go back to her place for a evening for two. It's been yeah, Rarity did mess up, or did she mess up? We'll have to see. We'll have to see. But in this moment, she almost screwed things up with Silver as well. So we go back to the party, and things have kind of died down a little bit. I think there's some, I'm trying to remember how exactly we picked things up here. I think we go back, when we get back to the party, we start off with Starlight and Shadow dancing. At this moment, Shadow and Starlight are together. I know for those of you who are with the newer episodes, that's not the case, but and anyway, so Shadow and Starlight are together, and Starlight asks Shadow about getting a job. And this is kind of like a little funny moment. This is kind of a funny moment between Shadow and Starlight, whereas Shadow goes, look, I tried to work a job before, and we saw how that turned out. And Starlight says, look, working for Eggman is not a real job, Shadow. It's more like slavery. And she goes, well, what do you enjoy? Like, what do you enjoy doing? What are you into? Like, What are some things you enjoy? Maybe you could turn that into a job. And Shadow spills the beans that he enjoys cooking. And Starlight says, yeah. She goes, you know what? You are a really good cook. I remember all the times you cooked dinner for me on Mobius. She goes, well, that would be great. And Shadow said, well, there's a difference between being a short order chef and cooking for fun. The other thing is Shadow tells Starlight that he actually wants to open his own restaurant versus working for someone. And he tells, and then this is where Starlight says, well, I went into Twilight mode there. So Starlight says, well, I'm pretty sure the Ponyville Garden Bistro is hiring. It's more of a fancy end place. It's a little bit more on the fancier side, which is more your style of cooking anyway. And Shadow says, but don't I need like a degree, or don't I need schooling for something that's a little more proper? Don't I need schooling to become a chef? And Starlight says, oh, yeah, that's right. You do kind of have to like go to culinary school. And she was like, why don't you just make them a dish? She goes, you're really good at like making fancier dishes. Why don't you make them a dish and bring it to them and see what they say? Maybe they'll enjoy your cooking and they'll hire you just based on your cooking. Shadow, again, is just kind of like, you know, Shadow being Shadow. Purple, you don't have to binge watch. No. These episodes are very long. Elijah, my Hunter. Hunter is in the chat, everybody. Hunter. Elijah says, slavery is something I know all too well about. Yes, making reference to Eggman is Hunter. Hunter is an OC character. It is Elijah's OC. Again, future episodes. Yes, Hunter. But you're not one of my slaves. Come to think of it, Mr. Fidget was not my slave either. Oh, well. That's right, Hunter. Don't worry, you're not going to be my slave. You're not going to be my slave ever again. I just want you to die. Yeah. I went into Eggman there, too. Anyway, I got off. Elijah, you threw me off track. Hunter, yes. We love Hunter. At least you love Hunter. Questionable sus between you and Hunter. That is not canon, Shadow. That's after show. Yeah, it's inside jokes between me and it's an inside. Elijah's one of my VAs, so it's an inside joke. Yeah, it's an inside joke between Elijah and I. He's like I said, he's the VA for Hunter when Hunter comes into the series later on. Actually, Elijah is one of my day one fans. Elijah has been a fan of my series since the very start, like 2017, 2018. Elijah has seen every episode, even back when it was not a voice series, when it was just one of those read it. I'll make a video and you guys read it yourself kind of things. Elijah was a fan of the series way back when. So Elijah was a subscriber back in the day when I had 20 subscribers. So he's one of my original fans who is an amazing voice actor. So that's Elijah. Yeah, Elijah, we can't spoil it for Purple Turtle. Purple Turtle is on the season 1 season finale right now. So we can't spoil it for Purple Turtle. But yeah, so again, getting back into the episode, Shadow isn't sure what he wants to do for a job. Starlight tells Shadow, well, look, we're getting kicked out of Twilight's castle because Twilight kind of wants her privacy. And let's be honest, Shadow, you and I kind of deserve our privacy. We're together. And I basically need your help to support us. I got about 2,000 bits saved for either an apartment or a house. So regardless, you're going to have to work to help me out. So Shadow's just kind of like, oh yeah, whatever. And we go to the next scene, which Fluttershy and Tails are kind of having, or Fluttershy and Pinkie Pie are still talking. And they're one thing that Fluttershy says is she's gonna leave soon because she's very tired from this. Keep in mind they had just gotten back from Soren's funeral the day before, so their Fluttershy is still kind of like train lagged and tired. So she wants to go home and go to bed early, early-ish, and Pinkie Pie points out that Tails is looking at her and is kind of just staring at her. Tails then comes over and apologizes to Fluttershy for not spending a lot of time with her. He's kind of been off, mingling and doing his own thing. So, yeah, Elijah's right. You do need a lot of time. And the one thing about Harmony and Chaos is there are a lot of in-depth storylines within it. Everything that you see that happens as long is continuing in the current episodes now, which is we just finished 100 episode 103. Finished as in I just sent the script out to all the VAs. So episode 103 will be coming out sometime in the next month ish. Elijah, ahead of the game, has already got his lines in for episode 103. Not surprised. Not surprised. And then I would bet Plush would have. I would bet Plush gets his lines in next. So yeah. But yes, if you are on spring break, awesome. I know here in Illinois, a lot of the schools were on spring break a week or two ago. I want to say it was like a week. It was either a week or 1 or 2 weeks ago. All the kids were on spring break. I think it was 2 weeks ago. So trying to get back into my train of thought. So Tails goes over to Fluttershy, and they have a little conversation. Fluttershy is, of course, being shy. Tails offers to fly Fluttershy home, and Pinkie Pie's like, "You don't even have wings. How can you fly?" And Tails like, "Well, I got my 2 tails." And Tails uses his tails and starts to fly around Twilight's, banquet room or ballroom, whatever it is, whatever room they're doing this party in. Tails is kind of just flying around, and Rainbow Dash is like, "Wow, that's awesome! Like, now I got a new flying buddy." And Pinkie Pie kind of nudges Fluttershy and says, "You're not getting out of this one, Fluttershy." And Fluttershy she doesn't reluctantly agree, but she kind of like shyly agrees, like, "Okay, Tails, you can fly me home." So then you got that moment there. Tails is going to wind up taking Fluttershy home. I got an itchy nose. After that, we go back to Rarity and Silver, who have a very sussy moment where they arrive back at Rarity's boutique. Silver's kind of like, "I can't believe you got me to eat one of those disgusting hot dogs." And then Rarity's like, "Disgusting, dear. I live off this kind of food because I'm a fashion designer and I'm very busy. And that night, I'm a disaster in the kitchen." Is literally what Rarity tells Silver. And then she gets into kind of like her backstory with Silver about how she became, actually what leads into the discussion. Silver goes, "I still can't believe a prim and proper pony like you eats hot dogs like Sonic the Hedgehog." And she goes, "Well, I always wasn't prim and proper." And then she goes into her backstory about how she became a fashion designer. She's also nominated to be Fashion Designer of the Year. which we see culminate in season 2. We actually see Rarity win. Rarity, that storyline progresses into season 2 at the near the end of the season. So she gives her backstory about how she became a fashion designer. She says, I've had to face harsh criticism. I've had lines flop. I've had my shows get canceled, fashion shows, and all that other stuff. She goes, but I always had my friends to lean upon for help. And they always helped me. And she says, I always stayed true to my roots and always stayed true to my designs. And I did take the criticism from critics. I applied that to my own style and kind of made it my own. And I always had my friends there, which is why I still live in Ponyville, because I wouldn't be here if it weren't for all my friends. And then they get into another little side discussion, and they get into the discussion about them. And Rarity apologizes to Silver for making him wait and for pushing him away. Silver responds by giving Rarity a kiss. This kiss would lead to them having a night of romance. As we would see, they ended the scene with a kissy moment, ooh, in Rarity's room. Great. I call season 1. Now, if you're not a fan of shipping, I promise the shipping dies down as the series progresses, as far as the sus moments. Season 1, there's a lot of romance and a lot of kissy, because the characters are establishing their connections. So I would say probably 3/4 of season 1 is about the characters just kind of connecting and getting to know each other and falling in love, getting into relationships. So that's why we get a lot of ooh in these first several episodes. Purple Turtle is a fan of the shipping. I'm happy because not everybody is. There are a lot of people who are fans of the series, but are not necessarily fans of all the shipping. I have a few of those who are just like, we could do without any of the shipping stuff. We kind of like the nitty gritty violence and the in-depth story that's there. And it gets very in-depth, Purple Turtle. You are in for some major shocks as you dive into season 2. You're in for some major shocks. So yes. And it like I said, everything that's happening in these reboots right now, it just builds and builds and builds and builds and builds and builds to where we are in the current episodes, and just continues to build from there. I am a fan of long-term booking or long-term storytelling. I like telling long stories and having everything from episodes. So it's episodic. Solaria's in the chat. Rah. Oh, great. Fuck me. Here's fucking Philia. Oh, it's Solar and Miko. Awesome. But yeah. Hi, Philia. Oh, man. Hi, Feels. Yes, I'm randomly popping in with Michael. Yeah, you know what? I actually have an announcement I'm going to make at the end, so bear with me, Feels. We have Kevin Kuntz in the chat. He says, hey. So, it's nothing out of the ordinary. Just bear with Michael here. So we get through that moment, and then we go back to Fluttershy and Tails. And Tails is now escorting Fluttershy home. He's making sure she gets home safely. Miko says, boo! Oh my God. Yes, the gremlins have entered the chat. My sister Philia and Miko, they have entered the chat. The chat will not be the same. Oh my god, my foot is stuck on this cord. Oh, sorry guys. Anyway, so Tails is accompanying Fluttershy back to her cottage to make sure she gets home. And somehow they go into the discussion on Tails being heartbroken. I think it starts off with Fluttershy letting a cute slip out of her mouth, and Tails like, "You think I'm cute?" And Fluttershy's like, "Oh, did I say cute? I really need to pay attention to what I say more. But yes, you're adorable, Tails." So anyway, they wind up getting into this discussion about Cosmo, and it gets very emotional. Basically, Tails in this scene tells Fluttershy that he wishes he had died, and that he feels that he does not have a future and that he's empty. And Fluttershy gets about as assertive as Fluttershy can get. And then she goes into this whole, if you were empty, into this whole, if you were empty speech. So she says, if you were empty, you would not be going with Sonic and Rainbow Dash to the Wonderbolts Academy. If you were empty, I wouldn't have seen you laugh and smile tonight like you have. If you were empty, everything that Sonic has told us about you would be a lie. And so far, I haven't seen that to be true. So Fluttershy goes into all of this, and then she ends the "if you were empty" speech by saying, "Look, none of us know what the future holds. All we know is that we just have to live it." And that really resonates with Tails to the point where he kind of bursts into tears, because Fluttershy honestly put things into perspective. And I think in this moment, Tails realizes that Cosmo should not have died in vain. And he should honor Cosmo by living his life, and that she would not want Tails to carry on. Yes, Fluttershy indeed pops off in Fluttershy fashion, which Fluttershy popping off is not like Shadow popping off. Hey, what the hell is that supposed to mean? It means that you're a fucking hothead, Tail or Shadow. Ah! I swear, Michael, I swear if you weren't the fucking producer of this series, you'd be done. And how many times are you going to impale me in this series? How many times? I am an angry bird. Yeah, if you know, you know. You're right. You're right. You're absolutely right, Hunter. Kevin Kuntz, not to be rushing you. Only thing with the next episode, but are you working on the next one? Yes. I will give Kevin, I will give you guys an update on episode 103 at the end of the live stream. So bear with me, Kevin. So Tails kind of like has this moment. At this moment, this is where Tails has his moment where he realizes, yes, I do need to live my life. And he tells Fluttershy, but it still hurts. And Fluttershy says, of course it's going to hurt. You lost your fiance a month ago. Of course it is. No one's saying you can't cry or feel pain. She says, but I will not tolerate you wishing that you had died. I won't tolerate it because you matter to me. And I have been blessed since you've been part of my life, Tails. So don't wish that you were dead. Basically is how that conversation ends. And there you go. Fuck you, Philia. Jesus, I'm not even part of this. Talking shit is going to be on Saturday. I hope. Even though it is a holiday Saturday. We'll get into it at the end. That's what I needed to talk to you about, since I have you in the chat. But yes. Or Michael has you in his chat. Hey, Philia, do you know Michael still has those people in the dungeon? I can hear them screaming from the throne room. That's why we're subscriber only, by the way. Anyway, Michael, take over. Thanks. Thanks, Shadow. Please continue to interrupt me whenever you want. I will. Believe me, you know I will. I'm crazy. No, you're not really. Anyway, I'm having a conversation with myself. Oh man. Anyway, so we go into the next scene, which is the end of the episode. It's the final scene of the episode, in where Twilight, Pinkie Pie, Rainbow Dash, Sonic, Manic, Twilight, and Starlight are all upstairs. And Shadow is kind of like seething. He's kind of like silently, oh, yeah, that's because Starlight is up in the meeting. What the hell they're talking about? If it involves Starlight, it involves me. No, not really, Shadow. That's what Rouge told you. Yeah, that's what I did tell him. Yeah, well, whatever. And yet, this is one of the reasons why you are getting kicked out of Twilight's castle, Shadow, because you don't respect Twilight. You don't respect her. That's not entirely true. That wasn't entirely true. I respect Twilight. She's a pain in my ass. Come on, she's trying. She has me doing, or she had, I should say, she had me doing sensitivity training with the Cutie Mark Crusaders. I'm a goddamn warrior. Why am I doing sensitivity training? Yeah, sensitivity and friendship training is really going to help me when I'm in a battle for Equestria. Wonderful. You know, Shadow, it does matter because it affects the elements of harmony, which are used in the defense of Equestria. So yes, friendship does matter, as does sensitivity. Oh, here we go. I'm getting a lesson. Yeah, friendship lesson on a live stream. Bam. Oh my God. Can I please get through this live stream, you guys? Fine. I'm laughing at Bonnet and Felia in the chat. But yeah. Oh, thank you, Kevin. Kevin says he likes the series so far. Fuck! Shut up, Hunter! Oh, you're not mocking me. I thought you were mocking me. Maybe you are. I don't know. Context, Hunter. Sounds like you're mocking me there. Shadow, take a look at me. Ugh. I swear if you're gaslighting me. Anyway, this is why you're being kicked out of Twilight's Castle, Shadow, because you don't respect. Just get on with the goddamn live stream, will you? Your Cubs game comes on in 20 minutes. Yes, my Cubs do come on. Thank you. Anyway, we get to the last scene, and as I said before, I was rudely interrupted by the black hedgehog over here. Mm-hmm. Anyway, we go into Twilight's chamber where Sonic and Manic have requested to see everyone. It's Pinkie Pie, Rainbow Dash, Twilight, and Starlight, along with Sonic and Manic. So Sonic basically opens up by saying Manic was performing. He was auditioning for DJ Pone 3's band, and his hip started glowing, symbolizing that he has a cutie mark. And Twilight's like, what? And even Rainbow Dash is like, oh my gosh. And Twilight's like, that's impossible. She goes, the only pony who's ever been to Mobius was Starlight. And she's older than Sonic and Manic, so there's no way she could be your mother. Or you guys are like around the same age. She can't possibly be your mother. So like the thing is Twilight doesn't know the history yet. So Sonic gets into details about how they are indeed pony and about how their bloodline dates back over 30,000 years when the ponies actually did live on Mobius, the Equestrian Empire. And the conversation and the episode end with Twilight literally asking the big question, why has this been erased from our history? Why has this been kept a secret? And again, as the series progresses on, especially when you get to season 3, you will come to know why Celestia and Luna have decided to cover all of this up and why they are covering it up. When we get to season 3, you'll see what happens. Or if you've gotten to season 3. I always leave on a cliffhanger. But anyway, guys, that is the review of Reboot episode 11. What did you guys think of the episode? Leave it in the chat or in the comments. I will indeed, Kevin, keep up the good work. And as promised, I asked you to bear with me. Solar, I am not going to do Discord. I have plans this evening as I am off work tomorrow. It is my boyfriend's birthday tomorrow. So needless to say, we're kind of doing some things tonight. Yeah. So I'm getting ready to go out to eat, so to speak. Oh, thank you, Purple Heart. So as promised to Kevin, the episode, the update for episode 103, since I got you guys here, the episode is finished as far as the writing aspect. I have sent the script out to my voice actors. I've given them their deadline. So I would say within the next month-ish. I'm going to say sometime in May, Kevin. Expect it sometime in May. But the episode is finished. It's written completely. The script has been sent out to the VAs. It's just a matter of getting all the voices back and then doing the sound editing and putting all of the voice files into the episode and then putting together all the music for the episode and just putting the episode together in general. The production aspect is all that's left. So my guess, sometime in May, Kevin. Absolutely. With that being said, I want to turn things over to Shadow. Yes, finally I get my moment. Get out of the chair, Michael. Since Philia is here, Philia, are you available to do talking shit on Saturday? It's a holiday Saturday, though. I know we were supposed to do this 2 weeks ago, the second episode, but we both have been busy the last 2 weeks. Okay, so it's official. In 6 days, Saturday, what day is that? The 19th. Ah, fuck. Isn't that WrestleMania? Okay, here's the thing. Philia, Michael is watching WrestleMania on Saturday. So we'll have to do it in the noon. Can we do it at noon before Michael's WrestleMania? Okay, so next Saturday, so in 6 days, April 19th, Philia and I, my wonderful, wonderful, loving sister Philia, who may or may not drive me to insanity, we will be going live for our second episode of Talking Shit on here on Michael's channel. But yes. Oh my God, you've got work from 9 to 1. Okay. Ooh, yikes. Unless you're free Friday. We can do 1, but that's 9 to 1 your time, correct? Eastern? So that would be new. 9 to 1 would be 8 to 12 for me. So do you want to do it? So do you want to do it on Friday or Saturday, Philia? I'm free both days. Well, DM me and let me know, because then I'll just wait to post it on community. Kevin Kuntz is in SoCal. Nice. I have to work Friday at 1 p.m. Eastern. I mean, I could technically call off because we're not operating. I mean, I could be off Friday. Could be. All right, DM me. We'll DM in Discord. We'll DM in Discord on it. Yes. Oh, I want to cry. But if I okay, never mind. Never mind. I was going to save this little bit for talking shit, but you know what? We'll save it. I have something funny, but yeah. Just get out of the chair so I can wrap this up. Oh my god. I agree with you, Felia. Shadow's stupid. Hey, I'm not stupid. Would you let me finish? God. Anyway, guys, if there's, I'll let you guys, if you guys have any questions or comments you'd like to leave here in the chat, go ahead and do it. I'll leave it open for a few more minutes. Otherwise, the review aspect is done. I'm going to put some more music on as I read the chat. Oh, man, my knees are knocking.
Power on. Bluetooth.
No, we're just going to use the phone. All right. Got to get some ambiance music. Mm. Anyway, I'm still here, guys. So if you guys want to leave anything in the chat, go ahead. I will take the next few minutes to just kind of have fun with you guys and hang out for a few minutes. Moving forward, I don't know how many, again, I will reiterate, moving forward, any live stream on my channel, whether that be the Kingdom or talking shit with Shadow and Felia, or Felia and Shadow. Shadow and Felia! Thanks, Kevin. Kevin likes the music that we add to the videos. Felia says, Shadow is so dumb that he's lost his marbles 10 years ago. Well, why don't you find my marbles, Felia, and go stack my marbles on the freeway? Why don't you go stack them on a freeway? No, it's Shadow and Felia. I'm the older sibling. These two. I got to deal with these two. No wonder why their show's chaos. I don't know how one... Elijah asks, how does one stack marbles, bro? I don't know. Well, you could try. Be interesting if you could figure that out. I guess what you would do is you would, like, I don't know. That's the whole point. You're not supposed to. The whole point is it's stupidity. You can't stack marbles, and you certainly would be even dumber for stacking them on a freeway. Elia, what? First you want me to step on Legos, now you want me to eat Legos. Which one is it? I've got a spoon. You know what to do with it. Anyway. How did you take over my show again, Shadow?
I don't know, because you got... Maybe you should throw Philia in the dungeon. This is how I wind up on your podcast. Because I've got Philia. Please dungeon her ass.
I'm not throwing Philia in the dungeon. She don't deserve that. Philia is my friend. I'm not throwing Philia in the dungeon.
Oh, you think you're friends with Philia. Do you know how pissed off she is about what you did to her in the last episode? Oh, yeah. Oh.
She forgave Infinite. Why wouldn't she forgive me, Shads?
I don't know. Because you're the asshole who wrote it.
I see. Look, thank you, Fields. Philia has forgiven me.
You're lucky. She's come a long way over the years.
Philia says, Shadow, you're so stupid that you'd roll yourself off the freeway after kissing Infinite blindfolded.
First and foremost, there will never be a Shadowfinite. There will never be an Infinite Doe. There will never be anything hashtag Shadow Infinite. No. That Mutt is lucky I haven't took him behind Twilight's castle and pow! I would actually let Cream do that for me. No, for the most part.
No, actually, Kevin, for the most part, doing Shadow's voice does not hurt me. I will say some of the fight sequences are a different story. I don't actually hurt. Some of the more intense fight battles with Shadow, I do lose my voice.
What is with you in blindfolds, Philia? Is that what you and Infinite do? Blindfold? Gags? I don't want to know. I don't punch myself. I don't. You know, I see what you're doing here, Philia. I see what you're doing here. I know what you're doing. You're turning this into the after show. I see what you're doing because Michael's busy tonight, so he's not going to be on Discord. So this is like your version of Discord right now. Low key it is.
Why does that drop 2 notches? I want 1 notch. There you go. Much better. Anyway. Kevin Kuntz asks, have I seen any movies from my end? I would have to say no. The more recent movie I actually saw in theaters was Sonic 3. As far as theaters go. The next movie I'm going to see is probably Lilo and Stitch, the live version of Lilo and Stitch. When it comes out May 31st, I believe is what the release date in theaters is for Lilo and Stitch. I want to take my daughters to see Lilo and Stitch. The live action Lilo and Stitch. So that'll be the next one I see. Hey Shadow, your sister says to eat poison and step on Legos.
Not the first time.
Plush saw the Minecraft movie recently. How was that movie? I was kind of like, I wasn't sure if I wanted to see it or not. I'm not an overly huge fan of Jack Black. I'll wait for it to stream. Yeah, I'll wait for that one to stream. Well, I'm done with the live stream. Unless you guys. Kevin Kuntz, I've seen all 3 movies of Sonic the Hedgehog. What's Jim Carrey and Venom? Other words, I'm caught up with the series Venom and Sonic for my end. Oh, I get it. Yeah, I would have had to have played it to understand the stuff in it. Okay. I don't play Minecraft. So yeah. Ophelia, you're in the clear, Shadow. She's done bullying you. Great, thank you. Anyway, guys, that's all I got for this live stream. I will see you guys whenever I see you guys next. It might be sometime later on in the week, except it'll be Shadow and Ophelia if they do talking shit. I will say this: I am busy the next several weekends with birthday parties. My birthday is in 13 days. My birthday is in 13 days. So, ironically, my niece's birthday party is on my birthday. So, yeah, I am busy with Easter, birthday parties. God Almighty, my birthday gathering with the rest of the family will be May 2nd, I think. It's been April's nuts. April's very busy. Kevin Kuntz is planning to see the new Train Your Dragon movie. That's another live action film, isn't it? That one looks interesting. Yeah, I think they're doing that live action. It will be an early birthday, Kevin. Thank you. Yeah, 26th is my birthday. Yeah, I already saw the coming attractions for that How to Train Your Dragon movie. It looks really good. I may actually have to see that one. I like How to Train Your Dragon by DreamWorks. Those were good movies. I like those. But anyway, guys, that's all the time we got for this episode of The Kingdom. I hope you guys were entertained. I hope you guys thought this was fun. We reviewed, again, episode 11 of the Reboots. Until next time, I am Michael Evans, your host, saying so long, guys. And if I don't see you guys later on in the week, have a happy and safe Easter, Passover, whatever you guys celebrate. Have a happy holiday and have a happy spring. Anyway, guys, Michael Evans saying so long, everybody. Till the next time.